Heartbreaking reaction after Dylan Wang ignored her at the 2025 Weibo Summit. It was supposed to be just another glamorous night in Beijing. The cameras flashed, the red carpet shimmered, and the biggest names in Chinese entertainment gathered beneath the dazzling lights of the 2025 Weibo TV and Internet Video Summit. But beneath the smiles, the laughter, and the carefully rehearsed grace, something unspoken lingered. Something raw. Something heartbreakingly real. For Shen Yue, the night had begun with quiet hope. She had chosen her gown carefully. A soft champagne color, understated but elegant, with every fold whispering humility rather than extravagance. Her makeup was gentle, her smile sincere. After all, she wasn't there for attention. She was there because of her work, her journey, and, if she dared to admit it, to see someone she hadn't stood this close to in months. That someone was Dylan Wang. The world had watched them grow from co-stars to close friends, to something that felt more, a spark that never quite died, even when time and fame forced them apart. Their chemistry on screen had been undeniable, their off-screen glances too real to ignore. Fans had shipped them endlessly, calling them soulmates disguised as colleagues. But tonight, under the glimmering lights of the Weibo Summit, something had changed. When Dylan walked into the hall, all heads turned. He was radiant in a tailored black suit, his confidence magnetic, his smile calm yet distant. But when his gaze swept across the crowd and landed briefly, ever so briefly, on Shen Yue, something in her heart stilled. He didn't stop. He didn't nod. He didn't smile. He simply turned away. The cameras didn't notice it at first, but fans did. Every frame, every subtle body movement, was captured and analyzed online within minutes. Did Dylan just ignore her? One fan wrote. Another posted, "Look at her eyes. She's holding back tears." As the evening progressed, the gap between them grew wider, not just physically, but emotionally. They sat at opposite ends of the hall, surrounded by other stars, their worlds divided by polite distance. Every time the host mentioned Meteor Garden, the drama that had made them both household names, Shen Yue's lips curved into a nostalgic smile. But Dylan, he simply clapped, emotionless. And that was when the heartbreak began to show. Behind her poised expression, Shen Yue's mind replayed memories like silent film reels. The laughter during rehearsals. The jokes they'd shared between takes. The way he used to look at her when the cameras weren't rolling. And now, here he was, pretending as if none of it ever existed. At one point during the show, Dylan was invited on stage to present an award. The hall erupted in cheers as he walked confidently to the microphone, thanking the audience with his usual charm. And in the sea of clapping hands, Shen Yue's applause was softer, slower, almost hesitant. She wanted to be happy for him. She truly did. But something about his tone, his detachment, stung deeply. When Dylan returned to his seat, the cameras panned across the audience and captured a fleeting moment. Shen Yue blinked rapidly, her eyes glistening under the stage lights. She turned slightly away, as if trying to hide the emotion breaking through her calm facade. It was subtle, but not invisible. She couldn't hold it in anymore. The smile she had been practicing all evening faltered. Her gaze dropped to her lap, and for a single unguarded moment, a tear slipped down her cheek. Fans watching the live broadcast caught it immediately. Social media exploded. Clips circulated with captions like, "She's crying," "Look at her eyes," and "Why did he pretend she wasn't there?" Within minutes, Shen Yue crying was trending across Chinese platforms, the footage dissected in slow motion by thousands. Some said it was sadness. Others said it was disappointment. But those who had followed their story knew better. It was heartbreak. Quiet, graceful, unspoken heartbreak. Backstage, whispers spread. Those who saw her leaving the hall for a brief moment described her as composed but fragile. A staff member said she walked toward a quiet corridor, her heels clicking softly against the marble floor, her hand brushing away the faint trace of tears. She paused by a tall mirror, gazing at her reflection. The reflection of a woman who had learned to smile through pain. Meanwhile, Dylan continued with the show, seemingly unaware of the storm he had stirred. He laughed with other guests, exchanged polite gestures, and remained perfectly professional. But if one looked closely, very closely, They might have seen something flicker in his eyes. Regret. Or perhaps restraint. Because as the night went on, it became clearer that Dylan was avoiding more than just Shen Yue's presence. He was avoiding emotion. Avoiding confrontation. Avoiding the truth that still lingered between them, unresolved and unspoken. Later that night, during the group photo session, fate brought them closer once again. Celebrities lined up for the shot, flashes of light filling the air like falling stars. Shen Yue stood 2 rows behind Dylan, her posture poised, her smile faint. Their eyes didn't meet directly, but the tension was thick enough to feel. A few fans noticed it. The slight turn of Dylan's head, the brief moment when his expression softened before the flash went off. And just like that, the rumors reignited. Had something happened between them before the summit? Was there a falling out? Or had fame, schedules, and distance finally done what emotions couldn't? Separate 2 hearts that once beat in sync? As the ceremony came to a close, Shen Yue quietly slipped away. No big farewell, no lingering goodbye. Just a soft exit through a side door, her assistant following close behind. Outside, the cool night breeze brushed against her skin, mingling with the remnants of tears she had tried so hard to hide. She tilted her head back, looking up at the sky, a sky filled with stars that once felt so much closer when she and Dylan were side by side. In that moment, she wasn't the actress adored by millions. She was just Shen Yue, a woman who had loved, lost, and learned how fragile emotions could be under the scrutiny of fame. The next morning, her name was everywhere. Headlines filled with sympathy, debate, and speculation. Shen Yue in tears after Dylan Wang snubs her. Unspoken tension between former co-stars rocks Weibo summit. Clips amassed millions of views overnight. And though the world dissected her pain for entertainment, few understood the real story. The story of 2 souls who had once shared a connection deeper than words, but who now stood worlds apart. Some insiders later claimed that Dylan's behavior wasn't intentional, that the agency had advised him to keep a professional distance due to circulating rumors. But to Shen Yue, it didn't matter. Because when someone once made you feel seen, nothing hurts more than being treated as invisible. Days later, when asked about the incident, Shen Yue smiled softly during an interview. Her eyes were calm, her words measured. She simply said, "People change. Sometimes so does the way we greet each other." It was a simple sentence, but to those who had watched that night unfold, it spoke volumes.